Good morning, student. Let us we start the series of the discrete mathematics, which name is exam decoder. Uh, Let us start first of all solving the 5 mark questions. This is only the question and answer series in which we are the solving the different type of question, that may be the 2 marks question, 1 mark question, 5 mark question, and 10 mark questions. Let us is in today's it is the first lectures. Let us start. That question is based on the module number 1. That name of module is logic. Question number 1 is the for 5 mark. The construct the truth table to check the whether the statement. Huh? He is asking that statement is tautology, contradictory, or contingent statement. We want to prove that. This is a logical statement we are given, and we want to check the whether of given statement. First of all, let us see what is mean by the tautology, what is mean by the contradiction, and what is mean by contingency. After that, we are easily able to solve this question. What is mean by tautology? Tautology means always true. If you are drawing the truth table, and in the last uh, last column, all the values are true. That type of the statement is the tautology. Contradictions, that type of statement is always false. Means the result of your preposition, if you are drawing the truth tables, the result in the last columns which are coming, and that is always false. Huh? All values are always false. Means all values are false. Therefore, this is a contradiction. Contingency or contingent statement means that a mixed value are coming into the last columns. That is true or false value. That is, we are explaining the question or discussing the questions for that, and you are easily get to understand the what is meaning for this. Always true, always false, and always this mix. Means tautology, contradiction, and contingency. Let us start the first question. This is a statement are given. First of all, solve. Means write P in the truth table, the solution for this given statement. Write the truth table. This okay. Truth table हमने लिखा है. I am writing the truth table. The P, here P, the true, false. Q, value for Q is true, false. Negation for P, negation for me. Here is the true, is false. Here is true value, P value is true, therefore it is false are coming. Means negation P. If false value are here, therefore the true value. Negation for false is true. False is here value. Negation for true, negation for false is true. Therefore, negation means opposite value. True है तो false है तो true. That value is coming for here. Negation for Q. Take the negation for Q. Where value is true, negation for true is false. Here value is false, negation for false is true, and their value is true, negation for true is false, value is false, negation for false is true. We are writing. Now we want to find the negation of A and Q. A and Q. We know that in this is symbol. Here the pen, udhar pen hai, to that are symbols. That symbol is called an AND symbol. And the AND symbol is meaning is that if both the values are true, that only conditions which will give the value for true. If one value is true and one value is false, which will give the value is false, result is false. Means if you want in AND conditions, the result is true, the requirement for both value is true. हमको both value true लगेंगे. Okay, उसका negation लेना पड़ेगा हमको. देखो, first of all find the value of P and Q. True, both are true. That is value result, and का result true आ जाएगा, and result is true, but negation for that and is false, therefore false is coming. And इधर देखो P and Q means true, false. P and Q false आ जाएगा, negation for that false is true, therefore this true are coming. Your first value is false, second value is true. P false and true means P and Q, it is false and true, which will give the value is false. And false हमको दी जाए, or that false we want to take the negation for that false, therefore negation false is true. True value are coming here. False and false. The value is P value is also false and Q value is also false. We are taking the AND for that. Then false and false is false. The negation for that will give the true. False का negation true आ जाएगा. Now we want to take the OR. This is symbol. We like symbol. Our inverse V like symbol is like and this V type symbol, this is OR symbol. OR symbol, what is OR symbols are talking about? At least one. तुम्हारे पास at least one are true, then the statement is true. Both are false. This is only condition in which statement is false. Okay. Negation P and negation Q. Or P we have false or false, which will give the value is false. Which will give the value is false. Okay. And false or true means negation P ki value is false and negation Q value is true. That false and true, false or true, which will give the value is true. At least one true, that type of result gives the true for is. Means negation P value is true, negation Q value is false, true or false, which will give the value is true. At least one is true. That result give the true. Means true, negation P and negation Q, both value are true. That will get result for our P. Negation P or Q means true or true, which gives the value is true. It is your result. But he is asking to find the negation P and Q implies in bracket negation P or Q. He want to find the statement for that and check the whether for this statement. Means give the number 1, first number for this, second number for this. Means 1 implies 2. Means this bracket, first this bracket means this statement column, first column and second column. I am giving the number for that. This number 1, number 2. Okay. This implies first implies second. Means the false implies false. What is condition for this implications? In implication is condition is that if first statement is true, if first statement is true and second statement is false, if first statement is true and second statement is false, it is only condition in which your result is false. This is the only condition in which your result is false. Otherwise, your result are true. Means this first false implies false. False implies false. Result is true. What is only conditions in implication that will give the false result? That condition is that the first statement is false. First value is true and second value is false. In implication, that type of the statement which gives the value is false. Otherwise are true. Either the first are true, true implies true, which will give the value is true. True implies true, which will give the value for true, and true implies true, which will give the value is true. Means what? All the values in the last column means the value for this statement. The statement, those statements which are given in the question, we want to check the whether for that question statement, all the values are coming in the last column, that values are all trues. Therefore, this is the statement is tautology. Therefore, the whether of your statement is tautology means from the last column. If you observe the last column, from the last columns, all the values are true. All values are coming in the last column that are true. Therefore, the given statement, whatever may be our statement given, I am writing that statement is tautology. That statement is tautology. Okay. Next question. This is series for the decode. Decoding means exam decoder. This next questions we are discussing for the 5-mark questions. Each lectures we are discussing 2 or 3 questions. That may be the 15-minute lecture series. This series Must be get the continuation for that. The next questions we want to discuss, that question is question number 2, that is 5 mark question. To construct the truth table and to check the way the given statement is tautology, contradictory, or contingent. Contingent statement. Tautology means always true. Contradictory means always false. And contingent means that may be mixed, true or false. Okay, you cannot say confirmation for that. Okay, okay. Let us. We want to check the nature for this statement or whether for this statement. Write down P Q. This is column. Now we are constructing the truth table for given statement. P and Q means true, true, false, false. Value are written here. True, false, true, false. Write down the negation for P. Negation for P is false, false, true, true. Opposite value for this. Here is a true are coming, therefore negation for true is false. Here value is true, negation for true is false, and negation for false is true. Here we are writing for that. Now what next terms we want to find? We want to find the negation P and Q. This symbols means inverted V like symbol. Inverted V like symbol, that is called and. That is called and symbol. In and symbols, what is meaning for that? Both statement. In and symbol, with both the values in the logic means both the values are true. That only conditions which will gives the value is true. Otherwise, which will gives the value is false. वो false value देती है. Okay. Okay. Let us start. P and Q. P and Q means P. Negation P and Q. Negation P. First value is false. Second value is true. False and true, which gives the value is false. Okay. This value is false and this value is false. Means negation P की value is false and Q value for Q is false and false. This will gives the value is false. The negation P and Q value, third value is true. Negation P value is true and value of Q is also true. Both are true, means true and true, which will gives the value is true. And is the negation P value is true and value of Q is false, means true and false, which will gives the value is false. So false value with that. You are taking this value for negation P and Q. We are able to find the value for that. Now we want to find the value negation. Q implies P. Q implies P. There is a requirement in the statement. The P implies Q value. We want to find now. Now let us find Q implies P. What is the value? What is meaning in the implications? In implication statement, the first statement is true. First statement is true and second statement is false. If first statement is true and second statement is false, that only condition in the implications which will give us the value, the result is false. Otherwise, the result are true. Otherwise, the result are true. Only focus on that conditions. What is condition? First value is true and second value is false. Focus on that value. Okay. This now what is Q implies B. Q means first value is Q. Q value, first value is true and what value is P? Second value is also true. Means first value is true and second value is also true. Therefore, the result is true. First value is false, second value is true. Therefore, result is true. First value is means value of Q is true and value as P is false, means first value is true and second value is false. This is only conditions. In the implications which will give us the result is false. Therefore, the false statement is coming. Their false value are coming for here. False value are coming for here. Means now the next, the first value is Q. Value for Q. First value is false and second value is also false. Second value is also false, which will give us the value is true in implication. Okay. Now we want to find the first bracket negation P and Q, and in second bracket negation Q implies P, means this last, and we want to find the and value for this last two column के value find करना है. Okay, let us start to find. Yeah, what is meaning for and? This inverse V like structures, inverse V like symbol, that symbol is called that and symbol. In that and symbol, both the values is true. That times which will give the result is true, otherwise result is false. otherwise result is false. Means what? That this is first value is false, first value is false and true, which will give us the value is false. Okay, false, first value is false, second value is true, which will give us the value is false. First value is true, second value is false, means true and false, which will give us the value is false. First value is false, second value is true, false and true, which will give us the value is false. This is our result. Okay, now if you observe the last column of this table and the value for a given statement, all in all conditions, if you observing the last columns, in the last columns all the values are coming, that is false. From the last columns all the values are false. Therefore the given statement, therefore the given statement is, therefore given statement, whatever may be the statement are here given, that statement is a contradictory. That statement is a contradiction. That statement is contradiction. Let us, we are stopping here. This is the first lecture of the series, and that lecture series is exam decoder. Exam decoder for discrete mathematics. Exam decoder for discrete mathematics. Let us, we are stopping for here, and we are continuing the next lecture into sometimes, means tomorrow. Okay.